Welcome to another episode of Negotiate Your Best Life. I am so excited because, first of all, you may notice that I have a friend with me here today. And this guy has literally transformed my life along with hundreds of thousands of other people in person and also millions around the world. Chris Lee is a motivational speaker, a transformational workshop leader. He has coached literally some of the top names, top brands in the world. And we have him in the house, literally.
Hi.
My house. Hello.
Hello.
So glad that you are here. So Chris is going to be talking to us today about how to create boundaries in our lives, especially when we're dealing with people that maybe it's hard to create boundaries. Maybe you don't feel so comfortable in creating the boundaries that you want to create, that you need to create, and also managing the stress around all of that so that you can create the most bulletproof life of your life. And really, it's really about freedom. It's really about freedom, which is something you taught me.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Well, I'm excited, and hello to this beautiful audience. And it's a blessing to be here. And every time we have the opportunity to level up, it's a beautiful moment. And so be present, take notes.
Yes. You are going to want to listen to this episode over and over and over again. I know I'm going to listen to it over and over again. I feel so blessed because this is really an opportunity for all of you to sit down, take notes, and really transform your life. This is about personal development, personal growth, becoming the best version of yourself, really becoming the version of yourself that you are meant to be, the one that you're meant to be. So let's talk first about why is it so hard to transform?
It's a great question. It's a loaded question. There's a lot to say there. And so to unpack it a little bit, let's talk about what transformation means, because a lot of people don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But transform means, first of all, you're not a chair. You're not a plant.
Right.
You don't have to stay in the same relationship or the same job or the same attitude that you have been for a long time. And so transformation means to evolve, to release what doesn't work and reclaim what does. It's to, the light that we're born with is an unstoppable light. And over time, that light gets put into a box, limiting beliefs, fears, etc. And then we create this image and this attachment to how we are. And then we bring that into our daily lives and we become pretty rigid about it. So we get attached to it. And there's a lot of benefits to that. They're called rackets. We'll talk more about that as we go along. But the reason why it's so difficult to transform and to evolve into, I say, who you already are, the authentic, unstoppable, free self that you're born as. If you don't believe me, look at children.
Yeah.
They're free.
Yes.
And so it's called comfort zone, habits, and also constant reinforcement from our environment. Believe it or not, the people that surround us, it's to their convenience for us to stay the way we are. So you've got your own comfort zone, your own fears, but you also have the reinforcement of the people that surround you. Unless you are in a growth mindset and surrounded by people that are committed to growth mindset, it's very challenging, but of course it can be done.
Yes, I think one of the most beautiful analogies that I saw you do, and I've seen this, and by the way, he leads these amazing workshops that are just, you have to go, but is that you were talking about the neural pathways in your brain, and you were saying, hey, listen, there was an audience of us, and then there was an aisle
Yeah. Good memory.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you want to talk about that?
Yeah, of course. Well, it's what you repeat becomes your habit, and your habit becomes your destiny. And so if you spend, think about what you're really good at or what you're a genius at and what you get paid to do. For example, you, in terms of a lawyer and negotiator and the queen of, learning how to deal with narcissists and transform that, you have spent probably over 10,000 hours of your time, which, by the way, it says 10,000 hours makes you an expert.
Right.
So you spent over 10,000 hours of programming and discipline and learning and repetition and developing something specific. And so for you, that's a pathway that you've established in your brain that is an easy pathway to go through because you've spent so much time. When you look at Olympic athletes that are doing triple axles on balance beams, you're like, how did they do that? But that's in their lane as well. They have trained and trained and trained and trained to be able to do that. You and I could not do that. I can't even get even like I'll touch a balance beam and I'll fall off.
Oh, yeah.
But they they just do a somersault, jump on, land on the balance beam.
Triple axle, whatever.
Axle. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But the same way we have become disciplined in the things that we're learning and our jobs, we also have years and years and years of practice at our fears and our phobias and our limiting beliefs and what I call rackets, which is the outcome of fear. A racket is a behavior that is a defensive behavior that we use to protect ourselves that is sponsored by fear. And so the racket is like, for example, when you say I'm shy or I'm too stupid or any limiting belief you have about yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm a woman, I'm a man. There's so many. But when we start repeating those fears over and over, that becomes a discipline like becoming a lawyer, a doctor, an acrobat. In other words, you have spent so many years, I have spent so many years in thinking I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, that has created this pathway in my brain that almost whenever I am triggered, that's the default.
Yes, it's so good. I'm so glad that you brought that up because I actually did a live this morning for my audience, and it was on how not to be emotionally reactive to narcissists. And so many people were commenting that they have a really hard time with that. And it's because it's how it lands for you, not what's going on with them.
Nothing has to do with the other person. Every single moment you are triggered, whether they're a narcissist or even kindness could trigger you. Any trigger, any moment you find yourself reacting or judging or you feel unsafe or you feel like you need to fight someone or run from someone or freeze, what's happening is the issue is not them. The issue is the trigger in you that gets activated. And so when you talk, I like the word bulletproof. You talked about bulletproof, that this is, I want to bring you tools for a bulletproof life. Like that's my intention here.
Yes.
And the thing is that when we are triggered and we are in reaction and we think that the issue is your husband or your boss or the person on the highway or whoever it is that talked to you in a way that you didn't like, they are not the issue. The minute you make them the issue, you become a victim of them. And of course, predators prey on that. Narcissists prey on that. People that want to take advantage of you, they prey on that. They mine that. They go after that. But learning, and this is what we're going to do here, learning how to take accountability for your triggers, then you stop giving your power away, which is so amazing.
So good.
Everything.
Because here's the thing, and I want to get this is almost like kind of fast forwarding because there's so many steps in between here.
Yes.
But I actually was just coaching somebody this week who happens to be one of my billionaire clients who have been coaching her for years. And she started to figure out, wait a minute, I've been coaching her. I can stop now. I can no longer give in. I'm not going to give in anymore. And she was giving in because she felt guilt around the fact that she has money, guilt around the fact that, people might judge her, or, so like all this stuff. And he was preying on this. And so she finally is like, you know what, I'm not giving in anymore. And one of the things that I have been talking about with my coach community, and I want to bring up here, and I want you to speak to this too, is just making that shift where she's decided that she's no longer available for that kind of manipulation. It's like it shuts down a gateway for a narcissistic prey. They look for these vulnerabilities, these openings. And just that alone, by the way, gives you more leverage in a negotiation. Because when you are the one who cares less about the outcome, or is nervous, oh, please take it, please take it, please take it, then you now automatically have more power, you automatically have more leverage. And you can influence the energy in the room because of that. So I don't know if I'm skipping ahead too much.
No, what you're saying is so powerful, because when you're not in reaction, you're in a position of power. As long as I'm in reaction, someone owns me. And so by saying I am no longer available for this game or this dynamic, what you do is you shut the game down. You shut down the dynamic, and whoever it is, it could be a narcissist or whoever, know that there's no longer what they're searching for. It's not available because you're not available. And so learning how to lead your mind, because it comes down to one word: interpretation.